So you're thinking about making the move to the Sacramento area and you're not sure if this is the time to do it. This is our live show that we do every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. for people who are thinking about making the move to Sacramento, people who moved into Sacramento. It isn't just me talking, it's a bunch of people who've made the move here and they're going to be answering questions from you as well too. There's a comment section and we do a lot of Q&A on the show. So it's not just your usual YouTube video where it goes from point A to point B. Guys, this show goes in a whole bunch of different directions depending on the questions that are asked. Majority of these questions are relative to the time of the year and what we're seeing right now in the market. This is your live real-time information about moving to Sacramento. So if that's you and you're thinking about making the move here and you're wondering like, what is this market like? Is it cold? Is it hot? Is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? Well, this is a show to watch. Bring your questions. It goes in a whole bunch of different directions depending on the questions that are asked. Majority of these questions are relative to the time of the year and what we're seeing right now in the market. This is your live real-time information about moving to Sacramento. So if that's you and you're thinking about making the move here and you're wondering like, what is this market like? Is it cold? Is it hot? Is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? Well, this is a show to watch. Bring your questions, take notes. This is going to be a great show. We do it every single Wednesday. Let's get into it right now. All right, guys, hopefully you guys are going to enjoy the show. And this is what we do every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. unless I'm sick, unless there's a holiday. So we're going to talk a little bit about the market as it is right now. Now, realtors are a little funny. What I mean by that is a lot of realtors like will get hot. Maybe their clients are looking to buy and they have a lot at one time. So they'll kind of misread the market a little bit as far as thinking, oh, the market is great. I don't know what you guys are talking about. But I talk to a lot of realtors. I talk to a lot of lenders. I talk to a lot of title professionals and people who are buying and selling. I can tell you right now, the market does feel somewhat a little cold right now. It just feels a little chilly, even though after Super Bowl, we start kind of getting everything going and everything too. One of the things that I feel has kind of impacted us is the seasons and the weather right now. We've got rain outside. We got some snow going as well too. And don't get me wrong, you're in California, so rain is always good. And snow just means there'll be more powder for us to hit later on. But at the same time, it does impact a lot of when people are coming up to the Sacramento area to look for houses from the Bay Area, the traffic, the weather. People don't really want to leave their homes. Then all of a sudden, Sacramento, we have something called ski week or vacation week for a lot of the kids. And no one really wants to look for homes during that week. So you got a little vegging, a little at home. People just don't want to do a whole lot. On top of the weather, on top of the rates, on top of a lot of people waiting for Jerome Powell to get out of office, it's just a little slower than it normally is at this point. Now, seasonally speaking, I mean, this is kind of when we see this kind of, it does get a little chilly. It does get a little cold as far as the real estate market goes in all of California. Can't speak about outside of California, but normally it kind of gets this way. And that's just kind of what we're seeing. Okay. Now, do I think the market's going to pick up a little bit? Truthfully speaking, this is kind of the same market we saw last year. The only caveat is the whole idea of Jerome Powell leaving office in May. And a lot of people think that that's going to trigger the bond market. We might get interest rates dropping. People might push interest rates down artificially by buying bonds, so it could be that moment. We also have the California Dream for All program that a lot of lenders are pushing. A lot of realtors are pushing as well too. And that this channel, we broke the California Dream for All program like last year as well, or the year before. If you have questions about it, let me know. And you don't have to work with us. We can just fill you in the gaps about the California Dream for All program. Now, to all the people that are tuning into the show, I do appreciate it. And also, if there are any questions that I'm answering, about Sacramento and you guys have your own input on it, please feel free to, you might think I'm completely wrong about what I'm saying. And I hope, if you do feel that way, you voice it in the comments because that's what I'm encouraging people to tune into the show. So not only they'll get my opinion on what's been happening in the real estate market, but they'll also get people who are actively in the market, people who have moved in here, what they think of the area and everything too. For me, if I was moving into an area, I would love to just hear what other people have discovered, how they feel about it. I wouldn't want to just hear a realtor talk about it. I'd also want to hear about other people who moved in and get their little bit of a feedback on what, the move has meant. What are the good spots to hit? Good restaurants, fun things to do and all that stuff too. So hopefully you guys chime in a little bit and I would definitely love that. All right, we got Ben. Now guys, I'm gonna give a little shout out to Ben here. He is a rock star. If you guys are looking for Maritage, if you're looking for, and Maritage tends to be one of the more affordable builders in the area. I did a video of their Natomas community out there too. And Maritage gives great incentives. And you can get a very good big home for, a competitive price, a very affordable price in our market. Not saying it's affordable, subjective. Yes, I know. But as far as what you're looking for, some of the homes I was showing or I was filming in Natomas, we're talking 3,000 square feet and they didn't even break into the 700s. So really good bang for your buck. Now, Ben is a rock star and he also can cross sell to any single Maritage community in the Sacramento area. So, and we're talking like Pass Out, we're talking like Galt, we're talking everywhere too. So if you reached out to Ben and you said, hey, Ben, man, Mark said you're a good guy. This is my budget. This is what I'm looking for. He could recommend the right communities Maritage is selling, price points, bedroom count, backyard sizes, and all that stuff too. And he's someone I've worked with before and I highly recommend. All right, we got Pam. Pamela, how's it going today? Good evening. Hope everyone's having a good week so far. I'm having a great week. It is a little rainy and but at the same time, a lot of stuff to do in the video sector, which is in-house, so I'm having fun. And I'll tell you something, like ski week, when I have my daughter in the house and we're doing our Minecraft nights, I mean, there's really nothing better than that. So for me, I'm good because I know that time flies and pretty soon she's not going to be wanting to play with dad. So I'm taking advantage of that time as well too. All right, we got Tatiana. Good evening, Mark. Good evening, everybody. Tatiana, guys, if you guys haven't followed her on Instagram, she has she's big into fitness, sports, and travel. I mean, I can't recommend her Instagram account enough. She inspires me to kind of do more stuff as well too. So Tatiana, thank you very much for joining. All right, blessings. Hey, I appreciate that. Any love we're getting, is good stuff. Now, as we talked a little bit about our market, it does feel a little chill. And will it pick up? Yeah, it's definitely going to pick up. To the level I'm not really sure about, but what we normally see is the second weather starts hitting, better weather starts hitting a little bit, things tend to kind of like pick up a little bit and go. And so we're going to see what level it gets to, if it's going to be just like last year or if we're going to get a little bit renewed vigor from our buyers out there. Now, I have talked to a lot of buyers. A lot of buyers I've been talking to straight up they're antsy, right? They're not really ready to like just pull a trigger on just anything, but they're definitely antsy. They're feeling that if they can find the right property, if they can find the right rate, a nice incentive, they're willing to make it happen. But I think in our market specifically, it's number driven. I guess you can say that. One is rates, of course, which is the obvious, but I think it's also about seller pricing. I think it's one thing that's kind of challenged our market, and it definitely challenged our market last year. I think a lot of sellers might get the wrong impression from their realtors saying, you can do whatever price you want and it's going to fly. And then all of a sudden we have all this inventory that's sitting on the market and then reduction. So I think for realtors, you have to be kind of realistic with your clients and just say, look, here's the thing. If you want to sell the house, you got to kind of do aggressive pricing and give realistic pricing on it. And if you're one of those 2.75ers, I can list the home. It's going to probably sit for a while. It's not really going to do you any good or me any good, but it's probably going to sit on the market, get some attention. We might get lucky. Some Bay Area buyer might come into the area who doesn't know the area that well and might buy the house. You never know. But so that's kind of what I'm looking at as far as the market goes. All right. Hey, Mark, great show. If a house has been sitting on the market for 2 months now, what's a decent price to offer the seller? Is 10% too much? I mean, I think that's fine. I wouldn't be like how you say it, like, let's say I'm listing a home, right? And let's say it's been sitting on the market for a while. And someone sends me an offer. I'm pretty happy I'm getting an offer. Like, at times you're going to look at the offer and it might be too low. But at this point in time, talking to a lot of realtors, it might be enough to get the conversation started. You might not get it for that price, but at least you kind of showed interest a little bit. You've kind of maybe like, put the ball in their court a little bit too. Everyone's always afraid of insulting a seller. And if a property's been on the market for 2 months, any offer, the seller is going to be excited that actually someone's actually willing to put any money towards their house. I know it sounds weird, but it is. I mean, after a while, you're wondering to yourself, like, what is going on? I mean, we should be getting offers here and we're not getting offers. So, you might not get your offer accepted. They might counter it back, but at least you're showing you have interest in the house. And for me, I've listed some homes that have sat and then all of a sudden the seller's like, no, we're not going to take that offer. I don't even want to respond to it. And then all of a sudden, like a month goes by and then all of a sudden the seller's like, you know what? Can you talk to the agent who submitted that offer And if they're willing to come up maybe just a little bit, I think we can make something happen. So, you know, it all depends on how long the house has been sitting, how high the price point is. And sometimes sellers are they just want to kind of get done with it, right? They see this big asset that's kind of deteriorating month after month after month. They're looking at carrying costs. And a lot of times, I mean, how many times have you guys sold something and you knew it was worth more just because it was a hassle? You didn't want to maintain it and you kind of just wanted to be done with it. Houses are no different. People definitely feel that way at times. And they're like, I just got to get this thing going. I would also say work with a realtor who can kind of, figure out pain points of sellers. I think that's a big one. If you're going to be submitting and it's a 2.75er, and they're like, if I sell it, great. If I don't, I don't. If it's a house that's maybe like vacant, you open the door and it has that weird, like no one's been here for a while smell, that's pretty good. You got to kind of, figure out exactly what the seller's pain points are. Have they maybe already closed on their next house and they just want to get rid of this house? So there are ways to kind of figure out your best strategy for putting in offers. We like to do that a lot of times too. We've gotten some offers that have been like, for me, I looked at it and even myself submitting it and I was completely clear with the client. I was like, you're probably not getting your offer accepted. And they're like, no, let's submit. And lo and behold, like we got lucky and we got their offer accepted. I mean, we got one in West Roseville that it was because we got it for like, what was it, $100,000 less. And it was like listed, I think at 750. I think we got it for 650. The house is definitely worth maybe a 700, 710 easy. And the reason we got it was because it was a certain time where the seller was basically on his like last nerve. And he was like, I just got to get rid of this house. He had already closed on his new home. This thing was becoming a pain. He knew bad weather was coming up. He knew he was heading to the cold season, and we got the house. I still to this moment, and I'm always telling you guys on this channel that we always have that one kind of like the crazy event during winter. We always get lucky with a client, and that was it. I mean, they got this house, and I can tell you the appraisal was crazy on it, and it's because they went low. And they weren't afraid to, you're not going to really insult someone. You can come back with a higher offer if they're insulted, but you never know until you throw something out there, or at least that'd be myself. All right, Jason. Yo, I'm a little late. What did I miss? Not much, man. But I do have some information about Shawood for you guys in a second. All right. Are you seeing any uptick in newly built single family homes going on the market? Uptick in new build single family homes going on the market. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about like new homes, I mean, they're building like crazy right now. I mean, Woodside over in Rancho is like the hot community. I don't care what anyone tells you. Everyone's going to be like, oh, this community, that Rancho community is just, Woodside is just, woo, they're just going crazy. I mean, the funny thing is like a lot of people are with Rancho and, West Roseville and other areas. They're assuming that because there's so many builders and so much stuff happening there, there's still so many people jumping into these new homes. If anything in this market, I would say resale. Yeah, resale is probably hurting a little bit right now, as it's pretty obvious. I mean, if you look at this map or this chart right here too, you're going to see like, in Sacramento County alone, or in Sacramento itself, you're going to see the median list price kind of like increase, which is crazy. Medium price for new listing, all of a sudden it's kind of plateauing. Shouldn't be listing that high. Price per square foot is dipping. Average days on the market is increasing. Median days on the market is stabilizing. Price decreases at 31%. Price increases at 4%. Relisting at 13%. And inventory is not, it's just, it's kind of stabilizing a little bit, but it's not fantastic. Our market is definitely, it's not in that spot where you can just list a house for any price and it's going to go. I know this thing says strong sellers market, but this is so subjective. I mean, if you're going to list a house in Folsom, I mean, and I got one right now too. And in my humble opinion, I think it's probably the best house in Folsom with views, no 50 noise, single story, the best curb appeal and everything too. And it's still, and, I think if you got that thing for under 1.4, it would still be a great value, but it's still there. And a lot of times it's because a lot of people are going towards new homes. The incentives are just too much for people to pass up at this point. And I'm seeing a lot of people, even people who are diehard resale kind of people, flip it over to like, I'm going to Toll Brothers, or I'm going to Shawood, or I'm going somewhere there, or I'm going to Taylor Morrison's new community in Roseville. I mean, there's so much right now pivoting to new homes. It's crazy. New homes were slow. New homes maybe November and December are a little slow. But now, I mean, a majority of the calls that we're getting from a lot of people too are like, yeah, we like resale, we like new homes. And then we start telling them about like the new home stuff and the fact that you can also, new homes, also a lot of their lenders accept bank statement loans. So if you're self-employed, like they accept you as well too. Like it's just, for me, a lot of people, it's like a no-brainer. I mean, if you go to the resale market, you're going to get something that's older. You're going to get something that, you're probably going to get like somewhere between a 6 and 7.25 interest rate. And, that mortgage payment is going to be really up there. Whereas if you go to like a Rancho or a West Roseville, chances are you're probably getting interest rate somewhere in the 4s, depending on your credit and whatnot. You get something that's brand new. So there's not deferred maintenance. You're going to get something that, you got to put in the backyard. So maybe like 5 to 15K, depending what you want to put in, unless you go pool, and then it's going to be way up there. So a lot of people that I'm talking to right now, it's like new homes. And now that we're getting a little bit more of like, how can I say it? Like we're getting a lot of diversity in new homes. I mean, a lot of them still kind of look the same. I mean, just being realistic, and you guys can kind of see it with your own eyes. But what I am seeing is that, you don't have the maintenance. You get something that's energy efficient, insulation, a tile roof more than not, except for JMC and Roseville in certain communities. Yes, there's Mello-Roos, but the Mello-Roos are going to be paying for like brand new kind of like parks, police departments, fire departments, schools in the area as well too. I mean, it's kind of hard at this point to beat new homes, and there's a lot of people pivoting in there. And here's the thing, as a lot of people might add, and it's time to put on the old glasses. The quality of new home isn't great. I mean, I will tell you this. It's kind of subjective, and it's kind of like case by case basis. We put in a lot of people in new homes, and one thing I will give you as far as this goes is like when you get your new home, it's not going to be perfect. There's a lot of moving parts as far as the new homes go. As far as like appliances, as far as like paint, as far as like like everything. There's just a whole bunch of stuff. So I would say, don't expect your house to be absolutely 100% new. I mean, it's just, I haven't really seen it. You need to work with companies and builders that have a good reputation for actually kind of being Johnny on the spot, where they are able to fix stuff for you. The warranties are good. That's why some of the builders out there too, that don't have like that one person, that go-to person, I'm not a big fan of. I'm a big fan of like companies that if there's something wrong with your house, they'll be there in 5 minutes to fix it. So for me, if you go to a community, and there's like no sales office, no one out there working, I mean, what kind of, service do you think you're going to get if you have a problem with your house? For me, be very, very careful about the builders you work with, and just make sure that whoever you're working with, you interview the superintendent, you talk to the community, the people who've already built, who've already moved into the area and are using that builder, what their experience was. I've seen people move into homes that are absolutely fabulous, new homes that they're like, oh my God, I love it. Everything's perfect. We love it. Not everything, but majority of everything is good. We're happy as can be. And then I've seen people jump into homes with new home builders that weren't happy, and they were like, the floors were a little off, and, and we're not, and so you really, one, need to be diligent about the inspections. Two is work with a builder that has a track record for, being after the close, being someone who can kind of like get out there and fix the stuff for you without any BS, right? If there's something wrong with your floors, they'll replace the floors and they're good to go. Good track record for that stuff. And that's kind of where you really have to kind of look into some of these builders, some superintendents as well too. One of the things that our team has done, as far as new home stuff, is the fact that we've kind of put a lot of people into the various communities, and we can kind of tell you exactly the ones we've had good experiences with, the ones that we haven't, and the ones that are more energy efficient, the ones that aren't, the ones that give you backyard landscaping, but might not give you a tile roof. the ones that give you, solar for, buy the solar, the ones that give you a solar lease for 24 years. I mean, there's so many differences with the builders out there right now too. It's just getting crazy. Instead of kind of like closing the gap and making it kind of uniformed, every builder is kind of going on their own kind of way. For example, like JMC, one of my favorite builders for sure. But then their newer communities, they're offering, comp shingle roof, but they're offering backyard landscaping. So it's like you think to yourself, would I rather have my landscape backyard for 15K or something like that? Or would I rather have a 50-year tile roof? And for a lot of people, those are questions you need to kind of figure out. Now, our team is probably one of the only teams in the area as well for new homes that the builder will always pay our fee. So, no matter what you sign with us or whatnot, if the builder's offering $5 for your realtor, that's what we get, not one penny out of your pocket. I believe that we're pretty much the only team that offers that. So if you guys are looking for new homes, we'd love to work with you. We've been moving a lot of people into Rancho, West Roseville, Lincoln, you name it. We've been moving people in there, and I think our track record kind of speaks for ourselves. So that's it. All right, Jason, I got some Shawood information for you. Okay, so this is where it gets interesting. I was up at Shawood yesterday, and they mentioned that they just bought a piece of land on Barton Road. Now, here's where the confusion is. It could be Loomis, it could be Granite Bay. They weren't giving me 100%, but they said it could intersect with Rocklin Road. So I'm not 100% on that, but I know for sure that they just got the land and it's off Barton Road. And I think it's right between the Granite Bay and Loomis kind of like area. So that's where they've picked up their piece of land. So I don't know if it's going to be officially Granite Bay or if it's going to be officially Loomis, but that's where it's going to be. Now, I even got more information for you, Jason. Here you go. Now, they're going to be starting anywhere between 2 and 2.5 million for the homes. And they're going to be on half acre or a full acre. So they're going to be anywhere between a half acre and a full acre for those Shawood homes. And they're super excited. They just got the piece of land. And, Shawood, if you guys haven't been up to Folsom to Shawood, another level, got to say it. I love my Toll Brothers. I love my Taylor. You guys know it. But Shawood, that build quality, the building they're doing up there, just at least for me, another level of building. I was super impressed. I brought a really nice client up there as well too, her and her husband, and we were seeing Toll Brothers up in Folsom, which was nice. But when they went to Shawood, it was like, we're done. This is where we want to be. And Shawood just does that to people. If you guys haven't checked out Shawood and you're looking at someone like maybe a Toll Brothers, maybe a Tim Lewis, maybe in some areas, maybe even like a new home company, I would say definitely head over to Shawood. Another like dark horse I'd say is Double S in West Roseville. West Roseville is going to be interesting in the area where Double S built. It feels a little ranchy, a little kind of out. It doesn't feel, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like California. It feels a little out there, but the houses are gorgeous, beautiful, single story homes on half acre lots. Great homes. If you're like me who love watching those Texas like house tour videos, those houses at Double S's are like another level of building. And I'm really, really a huge fan of those. All right, let me go. Boom, boom, boom. Worst part of new builds, tiny lot size and two-story homes, all shorthorn in together. Yeah, shoehorned in together. Yeah, and that's the thing. I think if it wasn't for the rates right now and the incentives giving it new homes, I think that, resale might edge out the new homes. Because, what I always say on this channel too is the fact that, prior to COVID, new homes weren't a thing here. I mean, yeah, we had some new home building. We had like Lennar here and everything too. But for the most part, like new homes weren't what they are like they are right now. Right now they're just, another level. We have so much new homes building. We got West Sacramento, we got Lincoln, we got Vineyard, we got Rancho, we got West Roseville, we got Lincoln, we got Plumas Lake, we got Linda, and I'm sure I've missed 3 or 4 other places, but we have so many. And we're not just talking about like one new home community. We're talking about multiple builders in all these areas. And so, it was never like this before. In fact, you'd see some new home building maybe in like Whitney Ranch. You'd see some stuff in Elk Grove and in Natomas a little bit, but you never saw it like the way it is right now. Like the way right now, it's just crazy. If you go to Rancho, you're gonna find what, like Elliott, Lennar, Tri Point, Woodside, Pulte, soon Taylor Morrison, Woodside, like, Beezer, everywhere underneath the sun. West Roseville, again, you're gonna see what, JMC, Tri Point, Woodside, DR Horton. Lennar's out there. Taylor Morrison just opened up shop down there as well too. And so you're going to see all these new home builders. So, you're going to kind of have the pick of the litter, and because there's so much competition there too, you're going to really feel like you have choices out there too. So as far as the market goes right now, yeah, it is colder. It does feel cold. It doesn't feel like it's completely like warmed up like it should be at this time. But I will tell you, in the new home space, we're moving a lot of people into new homes. And they're getting some good deals. And in some communities, like for example, in Rancho right now, Tri Point Bloom, that's a hard one to get into. I'd say Cahove Reserve also, it's a hard one to get into as well too. And the main reason for that is because Cressley has stopped building those like, kind of those like, big square footage homes that they were known for back in the day. And Premier Home is no longer building in Rancho at that level. And so what replaced that was Cahove's Reserve Collection and Canyon. And on the other side, Tri Point's Bloom, that's right by Sunridge Park. And as far as I know, those things are just like the hot ticket right now in Rancho. I think Cressley might have screwed up a little bit, thinking that they should have downsized, and they're trying to compete with Cahove, where they had their niche market and they kind of owned that market since Premier Homes left, and they kind of gave it up. So I don't really understand their kind of the way they went on that. But at the same time, for me, like, I think right now the hot communities in Rancho for bigger homes, it's got to be easily Tri Point Bloom and Cahove Reserve. If you guys are looking for that next level of build, and Canyon too, I'd say we moved someone into Canyon, and Canyon, the floor plans, the quality, another level, also, honestly. All right, boom. California is proposing a bill to exempt seniors 60 and older from paying property taxes. Critics argue it could reduce local revenue, 12 to 20 billion annually. Your thoughts? I like it. I mean, got the gray hairs going, so I'm kind of going that way. I think though, my thought is that it could make everything a little harder for the younger generation coming up. I don't know. I got to look into it a little bit more. I guess for me, my main concern is, of course, retirement eventually, but also my main concern also is for like my kids, to make the path a little bit easier for buying a home. And sometimes I see when they do things like this, it seems like the people who really kind of get the bad end of the stick are the people who are just out there right now trying to buy homes. So I have to look into this and kind of figure out exactly like where this lays, but I'll probably have something for you next week. All right. Do you have inventory at Taylor Vineyards right now? And what is the entry price point? Taylor right now is one of those. Okay. So Taylor is, for the most part, one of the only builders building in the Vineyard area up till now. Maritage just released their community, or is about to release their new community in the Vineyard area as well too. Now, what I have seen was back in the day when Beezer was out in the Vineyard area, Taylor Morrison wasn't like the new kid in town, the only kid in town, right? And so Taylor became a little bit more, it was a little bit easier to jump in these homes, and the competition wasn't as crazy as it is right now. So I think Maritage coming into the play in the Vineyard area, I think their price point is somewhere in the 500s as well too, or at least starting. I think Taylor Morrison, their price point right now is in the low fives, and it goes up. Now, Taylor Morrison has two communities in that area too, Wild Hawk North and Wild Hawk South. I think the North, Wild Hawk North, is the more affordable community, where Wild Hawk South is almost a little bit of a mirror community of the one in Elk Grove, Madera Meadows, or Madera, yeah. So I would say if you're looking for like the Vineyard area, keep your eyes peeled for Maritage. And like I said, my buddy Ben is, like, in my opinion, the best Maritage salesman there is, so I would say talk to him about what's going on there. He could probably get you hooked up pretty good. But I would say though, Taylor Morrison, if you're jumping into the more affordable community, you're probably talking low fives. Now Now everything's going to change a little bit now that Maritage is coming in, because there's going to be competition. And so you're probably going to see a little bit more availability at Taylor. Last time I went to Taylor, I talked to my buddy Shig that works at Taylor, one of the all-star salespeople in all the Sacramento area for new homes. And he just sent me a price list of some of the stuff going there, and it is in the low fives starting. So I think, it's a good community. You're Elk Grove schools. And the Vineyard area, for people who don't know, it's kind of like, if you look on a map, the Vineyard area is like between Sacramento and between Elk Grove. So you're in Elk Grove schools, but you're going to feel a little further away from stuff for right now. I mean, are you really? Not really. I mean, if you look at Wild Hawk on a map, the funniest thing is you're about maybe like a 2-minute drive to like some of the best luxury homes in the Sacramento area. You're maybe about like an 8-minute drive, 10-minute drive to Elk Grove. I mean, so you kind of have better pricing that you're going to find in Elk Grove, because you're not going to find anything new in Elk Grove that, isn't a tiny, tiny place for underneath $600,000. Where in Vineyard, you can get yourself maybe like a 4-bedroom under 600. So I like Vineyard. I think it's a good spot. I'd also remind everybody too, who's watching this broadcast, that in Rancho is in Elk Grove Unified School District as well too. And Rancho is just building their new elementary school. And then after that, I think they're going to be building another high school as well in the area. So Rancho is probably another option for you as far as affordability, as far as like all that stuff that you're looking for as well too. A lot of our clients, they want Elk Grove, and they look at the prices of Elk Grove and they're like, I don't know if I really want to, pay that much money to just have a little house in Elk Grove. I'd rather go to like a Rancho or a Vineyard where I can get a bigger house, and, the bang for your buck is better there. So I would say, that'd be it. So hopefully that answered your question in kind of a roundabout way. Sergio. All right, my buddy Sergio, he's going to have one of the smokingest deals in Davis, California, hitting the market sooner than later. If you guys are looking for Davis, and I'm doing it because I love Sergio, man. He's like such a good guy. Went over to his house in Davis, and I met him and his wife. Amazing people. They're funny. Sergio's wife's like, oh, that's the boom guy, because I say boom a lot in my videos, and my wife was cracking up. But Sergio is going to have a house in Davis, and it's literally probably going to be one of the only houses on the market in Davis for like under $1 million. And we're talking Davis, California, not some weird suburb in Sacramento that was renamed Davis. So if you guys are looking for something in Davis and you're looking for something under like $1 million that is just close to schools, like really, really nice, let me know. I put you in touch with them directly. But yeah, I'm super excited for him, because I think selling that thing is going to be super cake, birthday cake. And I wish him all the best of luck. But for you guys out there, if you're looking for something in Davis and you're saying, man, I've always wanted to move to Davis, price point under $1 million in Davis, you're not going to find that too often. All right. Wendy. All right. My fellow Gold River person. Are buyers in today's market getting value on price per square foot, but sacrificing charm or neighborhood, ambience, and style? No, I think, right now, I mean, you're not seeing the inventory you want to see on the market. A lot of people aren't, right? In general, that's just kind of what you normally see. Like you're going to see inventory and you're going to be like, huh, that's interesting. That house was on the market like 3 months ago. Now it's back on the market. And it's not really the house you want to see. And if it's a house you want to see, it tends to fly off the market. So I'd say right now, be very cognizant of what you want. Do your research, figure that out. And I think if you find a house that you really, really like, you can make it work, right? Because just because inventory is low, inventory is low right now, before March and spring rush hits, because everyone's keeping their listings until that time. But what you're going to notice as well too is demand is also very, very low. So if a house pops on the market and let's say you absolutely love it, you can make an offer for it, go low a little bit if you feel like it, if it's been on the market for a while, and you can definitely get some value on it. And also like you and I have been talking, you got to know how to price the market as well too. Like that one house that we had been talking about in Gold River, the price point, and knowing that something like that hadn't hit the market, if at that price point, but also understanding that even though it might be a deal, it's only a deal for the person who wants that house, and is okay with it, right? But I think in today's market, if you find something that you like, it's been on the market maybe for a couple weeks, or it's priced aggressively, yeah, I'd say there's definitely value in the market. And it's mainly because its demand is still really, really low. And I've been talking to a lot of realtors about this, a lot of realtors about it, and they basically told me the exact same thing. Majority of their buyers have pivoted to new homes, and a lot of the listings that they've been seeing on the market, people are just not responding to. And that for me says that if you're adamant on going in the resale route, that you can definitely make something happen, because it's always looking in the spots that people aren't looking. And right now, people really aren't looking in resale. A lot of people have kind of given up on resale, and they saw maybe Toll Brothers offering a 3.99 interest rate or whatever they're offering right now. And they're like, well, why wouldn't I get a brand new home? Why wouldn't I get this interest rate that they're offering? And why wouldn't I just do that instead of like getting into a market where I'm seeing the same old inventory I've always seen? Nothing looks as pretty as that. And a lot of people are pivoting. So for me, I still think there's a lot of value in the market. You just have to be kind of like focused in. You have to just look at Zillow every single day and know really what you're looking for. All right. Boom. There we go. Oh, I did a boom, an accidental boom. All right. There we go. Boom. Got info about Sacramento State Stadium update. Where do you want it built? Oh, all right. I don't know where I've been thinking about this stadium. I don't really know. I think what I'm seeing right now is that the thing that really gets me excited is like X Games. The things that gets me excited are the Rail Yard Stadium, the Dova Stadium, the Sacramento State Stadium. I mean, it's pretty crazy. And the other thing too that I was watching on TV is the fact that Sacramento football, I mean, they're making a push to kind of creep up a little bit too. I mean, how crazy would that be? I don't know though. Jason, where would you want to see the stadium built? Give me some ideas, because for me, I haven't really looked into it too much, but I know Sacramento State, I mean, it is completely changing. And the funny thing is, what was it, about a year and a half ago, we had Ashlyn, who was on our team. Her dad was actually, or is the quarterback coach of Sacramento State. And so we went to a couple events there too. I'm excited. I think Sacramento State, you got Shaq as well as part of the whole thing. I mean, I'm sure he's not going to spend so much time here, but at the same time, there's a whole kind of a new kind of like energy at Sacramento State. So I like that. Now we just got to get our Kings. I mean, man, what is it? Like Sac State there, Kings here. We got to get those Kings going, man. This has been horrific. I talked to my buddy Matt Gouget, and he was like, usually I go to a lot of games. This year, not a lot of games. So hopefully the Kings do better. But Jason, I want to know where you want the stadium built. And if you guys have any input on it as well too, let me know where you guys want the stadium as well built. All right, let's get into some fun stuff. Okay, so here we are, interest rates. Boom. So it dipped down a little bit towards the end of last week, and now we've kind of like hit. And it's not, I mean, we're just barely in the sixes. So that isn't too bad. Like I said, for you guys, it's not, this isn't the rate you'd get. It depends on your credit, the program, and everything too. I always like to see the trends. So we're dipping a little bit. It would be nice to see us get in the high fives. I think that buyers would see the market react to that. I think demand would probably get a little bit more intense. As I was actually talking to Wendy, or was it yesterday? I was telling her that now we're getting into the season that maybe not right this moment because it's still a little cold, but maybe a couple weeks, the weather gets better and people start coming out here to look for homes a little bit more from the Bay Area. You're probably going to see competition increase a little bit because we just normally see that. To what level, I'm not really 100% sure, but normally we see that. People want to get ahead of the schools, ahead of the summer vacations, get the move underway. And so we see a lot of people from the Bay during the March time, April, kind of doing the recon and everything too. So you probably see a little bit more competition in some of the listings. And if you're one of those people who are thinking that when Jerome Powell steps down, rates could go down, I'm going to tell you this straight up. It would be such a better deal to refinance during that time as opposed to look for a house during that time and just jump in for that. So if you're one of those people who thinks rates are going to go down, just be aware that if rates do go down, there's going to be a whole lot more demand looking for those houses. All right. Made it back here. Roseville safe and sound. after being stuck in Lake Tahoe. Yeah, I saw that. You're in Tahoe. Hopefully you made at least the best of it. You also have got to give us a little update on the new Costco. I've heard crazy stuff. Like it's just amazing as far as the gas station. There's something different with the gas station and everything too. I haven't made it out there yet, but yeah, guys. And the funny thing is, I had a person call me up. It was a couple weeks ago, and they're like, on your show, you mentioned that there was a Costco in Roseville, and it just opened up. But you mentioned this like about 6 months ago that there was a Costco in Roseville. I'm like, no, there's 2 Costcos now in Roseville. That to me is insane that there's actually 2 Costcos in Roseville, one in Roseville and one in West Roseville. Guys, I don't think anywhere in the U.S. Costco has taken like our area by storm. I mean, what is there? Like right now, 10 in Sacramento County. And if you look in the Sacramento metro area, there's got to be a total of like maybe 15 or 16. Another one's coming to El Dorado Hills as well too. Man, that's crazy. All right, glad I made it the show. Better late than never. Glad you made it as well too. We were talking a little JMC earlier, and we're talking a little West Roseville. West Roseville, I'm gonna be probably out there all this weekend as well too with Alana, and we're gonna be showing some houses in West Roseville. We're also going to Rancho. What we've noticed is that the 2 communities people are looking at for affordability is probably the Rancho area and for the West Roseville area. Placer One, people like, but they're a little afraid of the home insurance, and they're also a little afraid of, and the price point isn't as good as they wanted it, and they're on PG&E. So for us, for our team specifically, and it could be different from other teams out there, what I've been noticing is that Rancho is sizzling hot, and people are just, it doesn't matter if it's rainy, because I was out there today, there's still people looking at all the new home builders in Rancho and all the new home builders in West Roseville. I think Natomas is a little quiet. I think Elk Grove is a little quiet, or at least that's what I've been hearing. I hear Folsom's a little quiet as well too. But people are looking for affordable. They're looking for incentives, or looking for deals, or looking for an amazing spot to live. And right now, as far as the new home goes, I'd say like West Roseville and Rancho are those 2. Boom. Gotta stop that. Boom. All right. Well, builders offering the lowest interest rates that you've seen so far. Sergio, I will tell you this. It is hard for me. Okay. A lot of people are going to say, oh, we offer like a 1.99. That's an ARM, right? Or like a, 3-2-1 buy down or whatnot. But if you're talking legitimate, like buy down your rate permanently, KHOV by far. KHOV is just always been offering the best incentives. I mean, they've been offering the best incentives for the last like 2 years. So I'd say Rancho KHOV is definitely where it's at. I'd say maybe after that, you're probably looking at maybe a Maritage, but yeah, I'd say that. I mean, there's great incentives everywhere else because, but KHOV tends to just trump everyone. I mean, what was it? 2 years ago, they're offering a 3.25 and no one could touch them. So, they're very competitive. They offer great rates, and majority of the time our clients, we'll look at a couple builders, then go to KHOV, they'll run the numbers, and the numbers just make a whole lot of sense. Especially if you're looking at their quick move-ins. Their quick move-ins, they're willing to wheel and deal more than most builders are. So yeah, that's what I've seen. Now the new kid in town, or the latest and greatest right now, is definitely that Woodside community in Rancho. But they're already selling dirt right now. They just don't have anything that's ready to go. So I would say that community is a hot one as far as Rancho goes. But if you're looking straight up just incentives, like deals, like get my interest rate down, KHOV is just that community right now. KHOV over there in Rancho has just been doing it straight up. And I don't think there's any other community that can compete with it as far as incentives. So if you guys are looking for price point, if you're looking for incentives, like KHOV's a hard one to beat in Rancho. Now, another thing to talk about a little bit, and I want to talk a little bit about this because a lot of people don't know. One, tax season's underway, and a lot of people are self-employed. I'm self-employed, right? Now, I want to let you know that a majority of the builders' lenders that they work with offer bank statement loans. Now, what's a bank statement loan? Well, a bank statement loan isn't like your traditional loan. They go through 6 months of your statements and they process it, and it's based on your income, bank statement loans. So if you're someone who's basically self-employed and you're like, man, I make some good money and I want to buy a house, but I don't got my, my normal stuff. I don't got my, my W-2s or all that stuff too. How do I do it? Well, a lot of the builders, just like in resale as well too, they offer bank statement loans. So you go in there, you download your bank statements, and you can get pre-qualified based on your bank statements. We're doing it for a client at Woodside. We're doing it at a client at KHOV. So don't think just, you're out of luck and I don't have W-2s and my credit's great and I made a whole bunch of money last year and I just, I'm kind of stuck. I don't know what to do. Like bank statement loans and new homes take them. So don't think that you just have to go resale. You can absolutely go new homes as well too with bank statement loans, and you can get those great incentives. So that's something I want to let people know about because a lot of people didn't. And I got to tell you guys what's going on. All right, Placer One incentives are not that great. Even their smallest floor plan monthly payment would make me nervous. Oh, I'm 100% with you. And that was the thing, Wendy. And you're on PG&E, Placer One. There's a lot of people like, oh, Placer One. And I get Placer One. I like the community, everything too, but the deals there just are not great. I think there's a lot of people just showcasing the community, and they're just not really, they're kind of overselling it, a little bait and switch-ish for me. Just, the YouTubers out there. I was going to go out there, but then I heard the price point. I saw the incentives. And for me as someone looking at that, I'm like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. It doesn't really, as far as bang for your buck, it doesn't compete with West Roseville, and bang for your buck, it doesn't really compete with Rancho. So I just didn't see it. In fact, I would probably say you can probably get better deals in Lincoln at Liberty, and you get the clubhouse, the pool, and everything too. So I just didn't see that big of a bang yet at Placer One, and hopefully they change their mind a little bit. Boom. I did a bank statement loan on one of my flips, and honestly, the interest rate wasn't nearly as high as I thought it would be. Yep, I know. Bank statement is great. And then the other thing too, for anyone out there, you do the bank statement, and then if you want to, eventually when you have enough, backup or, have enough history, you can refi it to a conventional if you feel like it. So there are ways to do it. Make it happen. All right, I was refueling the new West Roseville Costco whenever I drive to Tahoe or stay in the Bay Area. Yeah, you guys got it all out in West Roseville. I was actually talking to some really nice people about West Roseville, and I was like, you're gonna feel like suburbia in West Roseville, but all the stuff that's coming to West Roseville, that new Costco, you're close enough to the Galleria. You're investing in a new area that is just there's so much stuff coming to the West Roseville area. New infrastructure as well too. For me, I think West Roseville is going to be like West Roseville, like New Folsom, like Rancho. All those areas are going to be so, just give it a few years. I mean, not even a few years. I mean, all this stuff coming in the West Roseville, surf park. Thank you. Sign me up. I'm good with that. So yeah, I like the West Roseville area myself, and I'm so excited they got their own Costco. And Costco, guys, is strategic. So I'm guessing they're putting in a Costco in West Roseville because they see the growth opportunity as well too. And I've said this on this channel many times. If I was a business owner, I am a business owner, but if I was going to be putting in a business somewhere in Sacramento, and I saw West Roseville, and I saw 10, 12,000 new homes, in this area, schools, parks, everything too, I'd be thinking to myself, I'm putting in a business there. And there's a lot of business owners and a lot of people who are probably going to be putting in businesses in West Roseville additionally. So I love West Roseville. I love the possibilities of West Roseville. I love Surf Park. I love the Costco that they're putting in. I think the roads are fabulous. I think the people are great. I think the builders that are building out there, very, very nice. The only thing I'd say is watch for Mello-Roos. Realize that West Roseville has two school districts, Center and Roseville School, city schools. And that's it. But do a little diligence, figure that out for yourself, and West Roseville could be your spot. We moved a lot of people into West Roseville and not one complaint. So you hear them on this channel. All right. Alana will take me to Lincoln this weekend. Hopefully I'll find some something comfortable for me and my family. You will. Alana is I don't know. Alana is one of the people on my team, and Alana is so diligent about finding communities. If anyone can find communities for people, it's her. So I've already talked to Alana about the weekend, and she's already on it. So, I would say taking a look at Liberty is probably going to be fun. And there's some communities up there that they'll really be good. And hopefully maybe I can pop in also to see you guys, because I would love that. All right. Rocklin Toll Brothers model home should be done soon. Yeah, they're going to be done what's called in April, I heard. Um, the only thing is like with all the new Toll Brothers communities being built, the one in what's called Rancho Marietta, the new one in El Dorado Hills near Greenview. We got the two new ones coming to Bickford, and then the one they're going to be building in West Sacramento. The least two that I'm not like, oh yes, not a big fan of like Preserve, and I'm just not a big fan of the Rocklin one. Because when I think Toll Brothers, and it's nothing against those communities, I mean, they're nice communities. We move people in there. But for me, when I think Toll Brothers, I think views, you know what I mean? And, view lots like Skyline, in Rocklin, like Hidden Ridge over in El Dorado Hills, like Bickford Ranch. If you've seen the Etna out there, like that's what I envision Toll Brothers like. I think Preserve is good, and I think the Ramona floor plan is nice. But I think if you compare like, Folsom Toll Brothers, Rocklin Toll Brothers to like a Bickford or maybe the Denali up at Hidden Ridge, I think there is a little difference to those. Now, granted, Bickford, you got that $1,000 like special assessment in HOAs, which is brutal. In Folsom, you don't. So there's pros and cons, and location as well too factors in. Folsom's a hot location. Rocklin is a hot location. And if you're a doctor and you're thinking to yourself, I need to be in the 80, that Toll Brothers is like so nicely put. You got the Toll Brothers over there, and then you got the two communities by Tim Lewis, Lake and Wood as well too, right by the 80. So yeah, no, I get it. I'm going to go tour those models. Hopefully maybe I'm totally like, maybe I'm blown away. I don't know. But when I think to myself, I'm going to be paying like what, 1.5 or $2 million. I want my views. I want my pool. I want my Toll Brothers. So that's what I'm looking at. So again, that's just my own 2 cents, but that's what hopefully I'll see when the Rocklin models come out. But Toll Brothers is doing some crazy stuff. I want to go video the Rancho Marietta one. I think that'll be fun. And I want to find out about Shawood's latest and greatest one in West Roseville, that they're going to be building out too. That one, then they're going, there's going to be so many fun things and so many fun communities being built in the Sacramento area, guys. Everyone's thinking to themselves, oh yeah, real estate's going to slow down. Maybe in the resale stuff right now. And maybe it's a little cold in the resale market opportunity. Yes, there is. But the new home stuff, guys, for everyone's like seeing those videos, oh, there's no one living in these communities in other states. It isn't like that in Sacramento. If you go to Elk Grove, yes, there's going to be quick move-in homes. But for the most part, I was telling someone the other day, I'm like, if you go to like Toll Brothers, there's already people moved in. There's already people living in the homes. Everything's done. If you look at communities like Hidden Ridge, sold, everyone's living in there. Everyone's happy. Everyone's good. If you look at like communities in Elk Grove, they're done. The trees are there now. And it's just that people are buying all these homes that are coming up for sale in the Sacramento area. So I think when you see videos of people in Houston or people in other areas where there's communities and no one's buying those homes, guys, that ain't happening in Sacramento. I can guarantee you that. I'm out all the time with my team, and we're looking at new home communities left and right, and there's people buying them. There's people looking at them. There's a lot of contracts being done. You got Tri-Point over in Rancho that's only selling dirt at this point. You got communities like Reserve by KHOV only selling dirt at this point. So there's a lot of movement happening in our area. And the new homes are smart because they realize half the draw to them is the incentives being given. And the resale, you just don't have that. All right. Boom. Okay. Rocklin is one of the best locations. No Highway 65 headaches and close to Highway 80. Not in the middle of nowhere like Bickford or West Roseville. I agree. I definitely think the location for it is targeting doctors, because I've worked with a lot of doctors, and when I tell them, hey, do you want to go up to Whitney Ranch? Do you want to go to Rocklin? There's definitely a different Rocklin. There's two different Rocklins in my opinion, the one on the 65 and the one on the 80. And having that 80 access is so clutch for people who are looking to get to downtown, maybe UC Davis Medical Center or whatnot. The 80 is such, especially now with the 50 being what it is, the 80 is just clutch. And so when you do move to Rocklin, if you're thinking to yourself, I need to commute or I need to get somewhere and you need the 80, there's definitely two Rocklins, 65 Rocklin and 80 Rocklin. And I got to agree with Jason straight up. 80 Rocklin is just so, at this point, so much more attractive to people because you can jump on the freeway and you're gone. 65 and 80 where they collide, boom, there's always traffic there. And not anything against people in Sacramento, but it seems that the elements don't really help too much and it just adds a little confusion. So I would say that 80 access is key. 65, if you're going to downtown, you live in that part of Rocklin, that's going to be a little bit of a bear. So just, don't kill the messenger, but just keep that in mind if you're thinking about that. All right. The Toll Brothers resale I just shot in Skyline is perfect with pools and view. You got to call me out, Jason. We got to collab. Ooh, okay. And guys, again, Jason's got a fabulous Instagram account. He films some of the most amazing luxury homes on Instagram. In my opinion, I mean, there's a lot of people who do Instagram like home tours and everything too. Like Jason by far is the best in our area. So if you're looking for someone to follow as far as Instagram goes, home tours and everything too, there's a lot of people who do it. Don't get me wrong. They're good. Love your stuff. But Jason is like that next level. So I would say if you want to follow his account, you definitely should. He's got always the best access. And he works with a lot of the salespeople as well, too. So I would say definitely giving you a shout out, Jason, but I would just take a look at his stuff. It's really, really good. All right, guys, let's get into some Q&A. Boom. All right. Housing market shift. Very informative and interesting. He said. All right. All right. Roseville home tour, under $500,000 price tag. Gorgeous home at a great price. Now, guys, that thing's already sold, under contract. Michelle put it down. And again, one of the things that helped us put it down, number one, is we put the video on our YouTube channel. One of the things that drives me nuts, and I hate to be like a Debbie Downer to a lot of people who maybe are using realtors or whatnot. If you have a YouTube or a realtor that has a very big social media presence, right? Whether it's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or whatnot, and you're working with them as far as them listing your home, and they're not putting your home front and center on their channel, like there's something wrong with that. If they're more worried about the algorithm as opposed to selling and promoting your home, which they signed up to do, there's something wrong with that. I would say that for us from now on, and I give you whatever house if you guys list with us from now to the end of the YouTube channel, your house will be front and center on our YouTube channel, and we will promote it because so many people look at our channel that are looking to move into Sacramento. And if you are working with us directly, this is where you go. This is where we want to promote you. We want to sell your home, and we're more worried about selling your home than the YouTube algorithm. Now, Michelle, she sold this house. We put this house front and center. We took the video crew out there to film it. Michelle crushed it, and the house is sold. We had multiple offers on it as well, too. So that did fantastic for us. And again, guys, if you are a YouTuber out there and you in the Sacramento area or whatever social media platform you are, and you sign someone up and you're listing their home, put it on your social media. I mean, worry more about your clients than the algorithm. At the end of the day, it's going to pay off more, and you should sleep better. Well, hopefully you do. All right. Why are so many people retiring in Sacramento? When I retire, I'll be leaving Sacramento and California. My family has lived in California since the gold rush, leaving due to taxes and regulations. I totally get that. I only have one question for you. Who's going to be selling your house? Because if you don't have anyone, please reach out to me. I'd love to work with you. No, I get it. A lot of people do feel that way. We've moved a lot of people out as well from California. For me, I love the weather. I love the culture. Honestly, when I retire, maybe moving to Grass Valley, getting a dog rescue, but I'm California bound or California grounded. There we go. All right. New sports complex being built in Folsom, California. Yes, there is. The 3 indoor hockey rinks. Yes, guys. Indoor hockey. Because everybody knows Sacramento is so big in hockey. It's going to be crazy, though. New things are afoot in the Sacramento area. And this is going to be in Folsom, a new Folsom sports complex. And actually, I know a couple of people who are putting it down. I might even actually see if I can get an interview with one of them for the channel. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, on Friday, I'm going to launch a video of one of the top luxury custom home builders. This isn't like semi-custom. This isn't like a Toll Brothers or Tim Lewis. This is like, let's bring you out. Let's find you your piece of land. Let's get you a construction loan. Let's find you and create with you your exact dream house that you always dreamt of when you were a child. This is this kind of stuff. This video is going to be unparalleled. So if you are someone who's always dreamt of buying land, buying a home or building a home from scratch, designing it out the exact way you want to do it, this video on Friday is going to be just for you. Okay, now we're talking a little weather here in Sacramento. All right, so far we got 2.5 inches of rain here in Pleasanton since it started raining on Monday. Yeah, it's been brutal. Yeah, traffic has been a nightmare too around here. Yes, I'm actually stuck here in Airbnb in Lake Tahoe. Hopefully road conditions will be better and I can drive back home in Roseville tomorrow. Well, you made it and in time for the show. So yeah, Tahoe's crazy, you know. It started off as not a great season, and now it's kind of snowing. But as we all know, it's really, really important on how we start the season with good snow. I don't know. I think this season is going to be it's not going to be fantastic for skiing or snowboarding. Don't tell my daughter, but yeah, that's kind of what it is. But welcome. I'm glad you made it home and safe and in time for the show. Hey guys, if you're enjoying the show, also smash that like button, that big, huge Hulk hand. It would mean a lot to me in the YouTube algorithm. All right, inside Toll Brothers Bickford Ranch. Nothing out there in the Mello-Roos and Forest solar release is crazy. Can't believe the Mello-Roos are $1,000 a month for 30 years. Yeah, that includes HOA though too, but it is a lot, right? The only thing I can tell you guys is that the homes are beautiful. The models are amazing. It is spendy though when it comes to the special assessments and the HOA out there too, considering there's like no pool or anything out there. But they're going to be building a couple more communities out there too, and Bickford is going to be a thing. Now, one thing I will tell you is that in the Sacramento area, Folsom wasn't Folsom overnight. It grew, it had builders, and now Folsom is what it is. Roseville the same way. They're hoping Bickford will do the same thing. The Bickford marketplace should be coming in sooner than later as well too. I like the Bickford area. I think it's really, really nice. I think that if you're someone who doesn't maybe have to commute to downtown, if you're someone who's okay maybe working at home, or maybe has a couple days that you have to go somewhere, but you love that idea of living in like the foothills, having your views, having your big house, having a little peace and quiet. I mean, I would definitely check it out, but it's definitely spendy, just so you guys know before you go out there. All right, real estate market is feeling. I'm optimistic from Japan. Good to know. I mean, hopefully the market gets better. For me, my biggest thing is hopefully the market will get better for the buyers and the sellers. Hopefully it works, like I think the buyers have gotten their teeth kicked in for a couple of years. Hopefully you guys get a little bit of a break with interest rate, and demand isn't absolutely brutal. But as we all know, if interest rates drop, demand could go crazy. The best thing, in my opinion, for buyers at this point is that sellers will be realistic about their pricing. If we can at least get that going this year could be pretty good. So I'm waiting for that. Also, with Jerome Powell leaving in May, you never know. All right, depends what side you're on. If you're buying, it's a great time. If you're selling, not so much. Again, I still think with the buying, I think buying, right now in Resaleville, it's still tough. A lot of people aren't seeing what they want to see. And I think sellers' pricing is still a little higher than it should be. I do think though, as much as people don't like new homes, I think that new homes definitely keep our resale prices down a little bit. And I think new homes give us additional options in our market. So if someone has to come out to Sacramento or the Sacramento area, I think it's really nice that we do have new homes, so that maybe you're not buying your forever home, but at least you have something you can jump into, get a decent interest rate. It's brand new. You don't have to worry about siding like I'll have to do next year. I love having options, and I think new homes definitely allow us to have those in the Sacramento area, and at the same time keeping resale prices down because of competition. So I like it. Luxury home deal in Folsom, California. Seems reasonably priced for that home. My mom just sold hers in 1970, built 1,700 square feet in Pleasanton for the same price. Guys, this house, I'm going to tell you, and it's on front and center on the channel, this is the best deal in Folsom, California. You get no 50 noise. It's a single story. It's a next-gen suite. It's meticulously maintained. Lights outside, views, everything you always dreamt about in Folsom. You got no 50 noise. You got views to downtown Sacramento as well too. Beautiful house. And I know I'm listing it, so I got to pat myself on the back and say it's the greatest listing ever. But if you look at the comps, everybody that's seen this house is going to say the same thing. It's the best deal on the market in Folsom. So if you haven't seen this home and you're looking for Folsom, you want views, you want something that's still under the 10-year builder or structural warranty, you want something that has a fire hydrant super close by for home insurance and fire insurance, you want something in SMUD, you want something with owned solar, this is the house. All right, next. If they build like Shawood for a lower price, it'd be a big time game changer. Guys, I'm going to tell you, Shawood prices are only going to go in one direction, and that is up. So, Shawood, I think you're probably going to see the new, West Roseville community, Lincoln community, all those communities that are coming up. I think you're probably going to see them start around 2 million. I think they're aiming for bigger lots, and they're just really trying to maximize that whole build that they do. So I think Shawood is going to go in one direction. I think it's going to go up. All right. Is it wishful thinking to expect more homes in my favorite area of Gold River to go on the market in March? No, I think here's the thing for a lot of people who are looking to buy or looking to sell. It only just takes one. And there's been a lot of times for myself too, where I've listed something or I've been working with a client and we get them the house that they want. They're in contract. They buy it. They start moving in and they forget all about the time that they're waiting and they couldn't find what they were looking for. And they just revel in the idea that they found their home and there you go. So, and on the sell side, it's the same thing. I mean, I've worked with a lot of people, we've been listing their homes and they're like, oh my, we just need to sell the house. We just need to sell the house. Offer comes in. They're super excited. The deal gets closed and they forget all about the turmoil and the stress that they had prior to selling the home. So it just takes one. And I know it sounds a little cliche, but that's all it takes is one house to change the game. All right. Wendy, there you go. The real estate market. I think optimism also is a huge thing in the market. You got to feel optimistic. If you're going to make the move out there too, if you're going to make the move here in Sacramento, even though the market's a little cold right now too, I would take the time to get educated, diligent, figure out communities, areas, schools. Where do you actually want to move? And I think that's the perfect thing to do during this time of the year. To come out here and do that. That's what I would do, right? If I was moving to, I don't know, where, let's say I was moving to Lodi. I don't really know too much about Lodi. I'd be out in Lodi taking a look at schools, shops. I'd go to Target, see how the people were. I'd look at like home styles. I would look at lot sizes. I would look at traffic. I'd look at what are the busy streets in the area and all that stuff too before I moved out. And that's what I think a lot of people should be doing in Sacramento. Maybe if you're thinking about moving like in like 6 months from now, this is the time to kind of get started getting educated. And even if you don't want to connect with a realtor, I would say go to a few open houses. Don't sign anything, but go to some open houses, vibe out the home styles, vibe out if like Sacramento is the spot for you. All right, hold on. So many people retire in Sacramento. So untrue. Retirees are moving out of state. Why stay and have your pension taxed to the hilt? Okay, first of all, there are people that are actually retiring in Sacramento. I've moved a lot of them into Sacramento, some into active communities, some retirement homes. Like I just moved a lot of people in. So I will be completely transparent with you and say there are a lot of people that move from the Bay Area here. They sell their big old house and they move to like maybe like what? I've seen people move to like active communities. Some people move, wherever. So there's a lot of people moving to Sacramento. Why? The climate, the weather, the price point. It just makes sense. Now, are there other spots that people are moving to? Yeah, absolutely. Florida is a huge one. There's other places people are moving. That's great. I think wherever you retire to, the big thing is affordability. So if someone straight up is living in the Bay Area and they own a $2 to $3 million home and they're saying to themselves, I want to give a lot of that stuff to my kids, but I still want a nice house and I don't want to leave California, Sacramento's kind of the spot. I mean, Sun City, go up to Sun City. Everyone's driving around in golf carts and it's a fun lifestyle. So I would say that I get where you're coming from and I get your frustration, definitely frustration. But there are a lot of people who are definitely retiring in Sacramento. I get at least maybe one call every couple of weeks from someone who specifically is telling me, I'm going to be retiring. I want to move to Sacramento. Can you show me the area? So don't mean to disappoint. All right. Somebody signed in at my open house as Jason almost had me saying that on YouTube. Get me demonetized. Yeah. I mean, people are crazy at open houses. But I will say one thing. If you do run into Jason with these open houses, good guy, solid guy. Fastest growing area, Roseville. Ooh, okay. I like that. I would say fastest growing area. My humble opinion would probably be Elk Grove right now too, just because they have a lot of land. People just are like loving Elk Grove. Jason, sorry. It's okay, man. It's like what? We're already an hour and 10 minutes in and I'm still sharp as a tack. I like it. There's Ben, man. I know he almost had me saying it. All right, let's go to the next one here. Okay, so first of all, this is another thing too. And I know I hate to keep harping on it, but man, I wish other YouTubers would put their listings on YouTube. Like it bugs me so much that like, that you have a good channel or, we have a channel and we highlight listings to help our clients sell it. And it's amazing that some YouTubers don't. Just, okay, that's it. I'm not going to harp on that too much. It's just a pet peeve of mine. Okay, why is the weather cold? Why is the market cold? Weather, 10%. Rates, 67%. Inventory, 10%. Not sure. I'd say rates. I mean, I still think people are waiting they're still hopeful that rates will go into the fives, and maybe they will. I think a lot of people are hopeful that Jerome Powell getting the boot is going to signal something as well too. And, maybe it will as well too. Tahoe's closed. Guys, this is what it looks like. Crazy. 80-50. Man, I was planning on going snowboarding this week. All right, the real estate market is feeling hot, warm, cold. It's definitely feeling cold. I mean, there is activity. There's still people moving. There's still people moving into homes and listing homes and everything too. But if you compare it to maybe deep into spring market or even like summer market, it's definitely cold comparatively towards that. Does it feel like last year? Yeah, it 100% feels like last year. I'm just waiting to see two things I'm waiting to see. Number one is what's going to happen when, we're getting ready for Jerome Powell to leave office. And number two, and this is a big one, what sellers are going to be pricing at? Because I know straight up, last year, we got even less demand because of the pricing sellers did. So I'm kind of curious to see how buyers are going to feel when they see sellers start listing their homes in March, and the pricing, it's either going to be thumbs up or thumbs down. And hopefully that just doesn't kill our market. All right. Just checking in. Rates are dropping. Your headline is saying Sacramento market is cold. Is that actually true? Yeah, it's definitely true. I mean, right now what I'm feeling is weather-wise, we're not seeing as much traffic coming in from the Bay. That's easy. And that's, a lot of our market and our traffic is. I mean, honestly, I've had at least 3 people cancel because they're like, the weather's terrible, I'm not coming up. 2, rates anywhere, if they're above 6 at this point, it just seems like people are expecting, them to go even further down. They're expecting like Jerome Powell leaving office to give us a big bump in the downward direction. The other thing too is, and this is something I had earlier on the show, if you look at inventory level is actually like everyone's holding back on their listings. So inventory level isn't fantastic at this moment. Like we're kind of waiting for everyone to throw their aces on the market, right? So inventory wise, I'm not seeing fantastic inventory. So if you're a buyer who's looking to buy, it's getting a little frustrating. I think that for the most part, people expected rates to be down last year, and they're hopefully thinking the rates would already be starting trickling down underneath 6 at this point, and they're not. So as far as it goes, I would say last year I considered it a cold market at this time, and I think right now we're mimicking last year, and it just feels like it. Now, couldn't demand pick up? Hopefully it does, but I wouldn't say last year was a good market. I'd say last year, in fact, demand was low. Inventory was, getting better, but it wasn't because like, oh my God, we got so much inventory on the market. It was because demand was low. And so I think at this point in time, we're kind of seeing the same exact market as we saw last year. And as you noticed last year, after the Super Bowl, we had this big pop last year before the Super Bowl. It was like crazy. It was like we got so many people in contract. Everything was good. Super Bowl ended. Everything kind of flatlined. Now, I don't know if we're going to completely flatline like last year where demand kind of went down. But if something doesn't happen with rates, we could see an exact duplicate market that we saw last year, which just wasn't good for anybody. So yeah, I think it's a little cold this year. Boom, boom. Sabo. Yo. Happy to see such a turnout. Thanks, Sabo, man. We got to catch up too. All right. Do people really think rates going down to 5% would make the mortgage payments more affordable? I mean, how much difference are we talking about on a $600K home with 10% down? Yeah, it's not that much of a difference. It's, I guess it's like, it's just more of the optics, I guess you can say. If people see a 5 behind, like in front of an interest rate, it's just that optic of, oh my God, interest rates are in the 5s, right? My wife always makes fun of me because she'll say, how much did that cost? I'm like, it's $5. She'll say, how much was it really? I'm like, well, it was like $5.75. She's like, but you told me it was $5. So it's the optics of it. It's that 5 in front of it that I've seen move our markets. And that's kind of what I mean about numbers. You are right completely. It's not going to make a huge difference. I mean, it just isn't. But what I've seen though, and if you look back in like over the last couple of years, whenever we've dipped below 6 for a little bit, mortgage applications have been up. And a lot of people have gone, and the pendings have been up as well too. So for me, I kind of feel that like we're such a number driven like economy. And in Sacramento, it's just crazy. And I kid you not, like if we dip into the fives, every YouTuber is going to be up there throwing out like a 5.999 interest rate. All of a sudden, you're going to see crazy stuff everywhere, right? And part of that is just going to get into people's heads. Oh my God, we're in the fives. Rates are better. Let's go house hunt. And I've seen it happen over and over and over. And just that whole optics of that will definitely do something to our market. It's just, it has before. If it doesn't, I'll be surprised. But I think if we're in the fives, you're going to see definitely some movement. All right. Feel like Sacramento is bargain prices for the house compared to the Bay. Oh, Sacramento, crazy prices. I mean, okay, so let me just talk new homes for right now. Okay, so new homes in Rancho. If you're looking in Rancho, you probably get something. Some of the communities are even selling in the high fours, like Elliott Homes. Fives will probably get you like a nice 3 or 4 bedroom home. You know, small, maybe under 2,000 square feet. West Roseville, you're probably looking at like maybe $40,000 more for something like that, 40 to 50. So price point wise here, it's just crazy. You can get yourself something brand new. Not only that, with these new homes that are out there too, open floor plan, they use every piece of square footage. And a house that is going to be like 1,800 square feet is going to feel like 2,200 square feet. So in the new home sector, especially with the rate buy downs, getting yourself down to like what, a 4% interest rate, 4.25. New homes easily compared to the Bay Area is just like a steal. And you get a selection of like new homes. You got every builder underneath the sun building out here too. Now in the resale market, yeah, you got great, deals out here too. If you want what's on the market, that's the biggest caveat with this whole thing. Like if you look at the inventory and you're saying to yourself, ooh, I like the inventory that's out there. I'm looking for a deal. I don't mind putting a little sweat equity into a house or fixing it up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, those homes are still in the market. Can you go low? Can you build in a seller credit where you can buy down your rate? You can do that 100%. The main thing though, is you have to like the inventory that's currently on the market. Now, let's say Friday comes around, because Friday is when all the new listings hit the market. And, you see a house in Folsom. It's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It has a pool and it goes on the market for $850. And you're like, oh, I don't know what that guy's talking about. That looks like an amazing house. That thing will probably have at least 8 offers and it'll probably go way over list, probably like by Tuesday or Wednesday. Why? Because it depends on the area you're buying in, competition wise, how they priced everything as well too. So if you look at the market and you see stuff that's been on the market for 2, 3, 4 weeks and you like that inventory in the resale area, you definitely get deals right now. Boom. All right, 550 is good in Rancho. Prices are down. Quality of new homes have gone down. I think it all depends on who you go with, and what you buy. We've moved in some people in homes. Here's the thing: go to KHOV and go to Canyon and go to Reserve. They're different houses. They're different builders than you saw back in the day. KHOV building as well too. Like, I think right now, it's got to be on a builder and a community basis. You have to just judge based on that. Now, when KHOV first released some of their new communities out there, we moved in a lot of people and they were buying houses at it was like 420 or something like this. And, a lot of them were like a little upset just because they weren't like Toll Brothers homes. So you have to also understand that if you're buying at a certain price point, either you're going to sacrifice square footage, or you're going to sacrifice a little bit of quality as far as like doorway height, as far as granite size, as far as the little things, maybe even backyard size. So, I would say for me, there's a lot of choices out there. And I think you'll probably run into a builder that works for you. And also, I just go to the forums, go to reviews and figure out what the community's saying about it. But we've moved a lot of people into new homes right now, and a majority of them are like happy as can be. All right. What's the Sacramento month of inventory right now? I don't have the monthly data on me, but I do have, hold on, let me see if I can get this back. All right, here we go. All right, here's some stats I had earlier today. And this is kind of what Sacramento itself kind of looks like. This is what, and next week, maybe I'll bring on some more statistics. I kind of wanted to do a little bit more stats on here as well too. It's just that I was running around with my head cut off. But this is kind of what it kind of looks like as far as it goes, like median list price, as far as medium, or all that stuff too. And if you look here also, here we're all inventory levels right here, they're kind of stabilizing, but you know, I, we need more inventory to pop on the market in March. And I think a lot of people are holding back their inventory. So I will bring more stats next week. And maybe I'll even bring a lender to talk a little bit about the California Dream for All program as well, too. Right. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Rancho homes are beautiful and very spacious, but their school system is complicated. I love West Roseville, but the homes are expensive. Yeah, I mean, how can I say it? Okay, so like in Rancho, you're in Elk Grove Unified, and let me see if I have this one thing. The nice thing is, though, in Rancho, they are putting in new stuff here too. And this is something that actually I took a photo of myself. And this is the new elementary school that's coming summer 2026. I mean, look at that. That's right now in Rancho. And I talked to someone in Rancho in the new communities. They basically said a high school is coming right after. So there are going to be new schools. And this is where all the Mello-Roos goes in, right? So they're paying for, building up new schools. They're building up like new parks, police departments, fire departments, and all that stuff too. So there's new stuff underway. I mean, look at this thing. That is not bad at all. An elementary school, that looks like a high school. So there is new stuff happening in the area. So I wouldn't lose too much hope on that as well too. New stuff always popping up in the Rancho area. Now here, let's do this. This will get you some stuff. Here we go. And Ben, this is for you. Here's some stats as well too. All right, here we go. 49 days on average to get into contract. And this was last week's pendings. 49 days to get average getting contracts. 29% need to drop the price before pending. 71% did not. 43 of pendings were on the market less than 2 weeks. 4.7 was the average price reduction. Pendings had an average of 2.2 offers. All right, this is a little statistics from Sacramento. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. All right, let's go to the next. Boom. They're building 2 parks in Rancho. Yeah, I mean, Rancho is developing out like crazy. Then you got downtown Cordova that has an indoor soccer stadium that's being built. And they're going to be putting in a whole bunch of other stuff there as well, too. You have the Braden project that's coming out. You have the Connector project that's coming out. You have all that like commercial stuff that's being built as well, too. So, I mean, Rancho is developing. On the other side, West Roseville is developing as well, too. Elk Grove is doing their thing. So you're going to see all these little pockets of kind of like, I don't know, kind of like Roseville. What Roseville is now, you're probably going to see that in different areas as well, too, with shopping, restaurants, and everything. So it should be fun. I'm excited to see what the future holds for our area. All right. School system isn't too bad in Rancho. Elk Grove Unified, a lot of new developments, a new Cypress Grove Elementary, middle of high school in a few years. Yeah. I mean, one of the things I tell people all the time when they move into these new areas, it's going to look a little like in the middle of nowhere, right? Because that's normally where new home communities build. They'll find a piece of land and it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. But everything that gets built is going to be brand new. So you're going to have brand new schools, brand new parks. I mean, there's splash pads out there as well, too. You're going to have brand new police departments, fire departments, and all that stuff helps with home insurance. And it makes the area just really, really nice. So I'd say for everyone moving out to these like new spots, you might have to wait a little while for like everything to get perfect. But everything that's going to be built in your area is like new. It's brand new. These schools, that school I just showed you a second ago, is going to be a brand new school for your kids, which, that's not bad comparison to like a lot of the schools like in Sacramento proper that have been around for a while. I like new. I think a new school is pretty great. I saw the elementary one they created in Folsom Ranch as well, too. Not bad. You're right. All right, better sell your home. Spring is the season for us around here too. And I know a lot of people with listings. I would say right now, you're probably going to see some listings hit the market. But I think as soon as we get into March, maybe like March 1st or get into March, you're probably going to see a lot of listings that you might not have seen before, probably brand new listings hit the market. Talk to a lot of realtors and a lot of people have them already lined up, photos done, video done. They're just waiting for the right time to list them. And a lot of people, a lot of realtors who list homes, they know that right now isn't ideal. So we're all waiting until March. Boom. And this was someone who's on the channel last week. They wanted me to promote their house, 3 and 2, 449. North Highlands, great entry price point in the Sacramento area. So if you guys are looking for something, it could be pending already though. Good price point. All right, he was looking for an active community, plus 55 active community. Yes, no, not sure. Guys, these active communities are nuts. They're like cruise ships. Absolutely crazy. All right. All right, hopefully they fix Grant Line. It feels like, yeah, Grant Line is brutal. Hopefully they get that taken care of. If you think that's bad, have you ever taken the road from Folsom to Rancho Marietta? It's like, whoo, crazy road out there too. And a lot of people ask about like flooding in the Sacramento area. Where I normally see flooding is like where you see farmland. If you're driving, like those are the areas that I normally see flooding. Other than that, I don't really see too much. So, you know. Hey, Roy, he was ready for spring market. Yes, 59%. I mean, look, it's cold right now in the Sacramento area. There is some movement. New homes are still pretty good. Resale is definitely like colder. I would say you're not seeing a lot of inventory hit the market. That's wow inventory. And if you do see those one or two, they fly off the market. But I'm hopeful for March as far as getting a whole bunch of new inventory. I just think that we need rates to be a little bit better. And hopefully that happens. All right, to the next. That was it. All right, guys, I think that's it for this evening. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoy the show. If you're looking for someone to work with in the Sacramento area, we'd love to work with you. We do a lot of new homes. We do a lot of resale, and we would be more than happy to list your home or talk to you about it and put it on this YouTube channel. This YouTube channel is the largest YouTube channel for Sacramento real estate in the entire area. And not only do we care about the algorithm, but we care more about you guys. And if we list with you or you list with us, we will do a video. We'll bring the crew out there and we'll put your house front and center so that you can get more eyeballs and you can get a better price point for your home. And that's what we love to do for the people we work with. Now, guys, if you enjoyed the show, please smash that like button. Comments and questions, I'll make sure to answer them. On Friday, I'm dropping a video about new home building and new home construction. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. And that's it. So it'll be fun. Jason, want to partner on any flips? I'm down. Jason, give me a call. Those things would be fun. And we can film it for YouTube. How many people out there would love us to film a flip from start to finish? If you guys like that stuff and you're thinking about flipping, you always wanted to get into that, I wouldn't mind doing a side project with Jason where we show a flip from start to finish. That could be in the works as well too. Guys, smash that like button, comment, subscribe, share the channel with your friends. Until the next one, I'm out of here. Okay, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the show tonight. Buying and selling is stressful. I mean, there are definitely different avenues you can go in, and there's no guarantee. Every property is different, whether you're looking to buy it or sell it. So reach out to our team and we can talk to you a little bit about the pros and cons of selling currently, what your house is valued at and all that stuff too. There's a link below to schedule a call. Now, if you're thinking about moving to the area, guys, reach out to our team as well. We're working with a lot of people relocating into the Sacramento area. We absolutely love it. There's a Zoom link below. Set up a time where we can talk to you a little bit about what your needs are. Now, if you enjoyed this live broadcast, smash that like button. We would love to talk to you a little bit about Sacramento. I mean, we always are out and about. So if you're looking at places like El Dorado, Roseville, Rocklin, Davis, we got you covered. Just reach out to us. And maybe you don't want to do a Zoom call, so just hit me at my phone number on the banner and we can talk a little Sacramento. Now, guys, one last thing before I go. There's a playlist right over there of other videos I've done about the Sacramento area. Knowledge is power. Those videos will help you kind of make a decision if Sacramento is that spot for you and you want to take it to the next stage. All right, guys, this is Mark. Have a good one. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Remember, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next video.